Are you ready?
Ready.
5, 6, 7, 8. Brr, brr, ma, ma. Really talented.
Really, really talented.
Hello and welcome to Outside the Search Bar, the podcast where we try to answer questions without using Google. Ooh. I'm Jacob Sheebach, and I'll turn it over to my sister and co-host,
Emily. Hi, everyone. I am healthy and I am back.
Oh, good. The Emily stands will be very pleased to hear that.
I'm sure you guys missed me so much last episode, but very grateful that Ryan was able to step in. And he had some pretty big shoes to fill, but I think he did it. So, anyways, welcome. Each week, Jacob and I are going to come prepared with questions that we do not know the answers to. We both have notes on our phones that are filling up with an astounding number of questions, which is honestly a testament to how little we actually know.
Of course, we would be remiss to not take any listener questions. So if you have a tough question that you'd like us to answer on the podcast, send us an email to searchbarpodcast@gmail.com. Or follow us on social at Search Bar Podcast and just slide into our DMs. They're open. We're ready for them. Whatever you want to do, you can just let us know.
Now that that's over, we normally introduce our next guest. But since you guys missed out on Emily time last week, we thought we would give you a little bit of bonus time. And it's just Jacob and I this week.
It's not because we didn't schedule a guest host. It's because we want to give you extra Emily time.
Exactly. So I'm going to talk twice as much as I normally do.
Perfect. Love
I'll
that
use two different voices. So like we can pretend it's a guest.
Please don't do that. It'll confuse me.
I am also Emily.
Oh boy, here we go. She's back and fully into it. How have you been?
I am good.
How have you been, other Emily?
That was other Emily.
Well, you are also
original Emily. Okay.
OG Emily.
I am also doing really well.
What's something that you searched this week?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me pull up my search history. Here's something. I was talking about this with my boss today at work. He was telling me about this game called like the Wiki game, and it's literally just like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but through Wikipedia.
Yes, they also do races on TikTok where like you have to try and do it within a minute to try and get from like Barack Obama to Bumblebee or something. Bumblebee
fun.
Being like the Transformer Bumblebee, not just a regular bee.
Here's another fun thing I searched for. When is National Emily Day? So Jacob and I got a text message from our mother in the family group chat saying that it was National Pamela Day on, I think was it yesterday, the 22nd?
22nd, yeah.
So obviously I had to look up when National Emily Day was. And then I found out that there's a famous beach volleyball player named Emily Day. So that was confusing, right? So apparently the 12th of July is National Emily Day.
Oh, wow. Do you know when National Jacob Day is?
I do not. But also Hug and Emily Day is the 8th of October every year. So if you see me on October 8th, feel free to give me a hug.
National Jacob Day. I'm Googling it. All right. National Jacob Day is March 23rd.
Ooh. 323.
Ooh, look at that. And next year it'll be 23. 32323.
Wow.
That's probably pretty lucky.
That's pretty lucky.
Slay.
What's something interesting that you searched for this week, Jacob, other than when is National Jacob Day just now?
I actually Googled when is Lady Gaga's concert in Los Angeles, because I went to a concert last week and I was like, well, when's my next concert? And it's Lady Gaga. It's September 10th.
Ooh, that's soon.
More specifically looking at where it was, because I didn't know if it was at the SoFi Stadium or the Staples, which is now the Crypto Stadium. Turns out it's at the Dodger Stadium, which I've been there before, but I've never really watched anything there. So it'll be an interesting experience to see a sporting event.
Is that baseball?
It is baseball.
Oh, okay.
I really want to go to a Dodgers game because I've heard that they have really good hot dogs.
Oh,
I love hot dogs. I don't care about sports.
I almost went to a Nationals game the other week. My company gave out like family baseball ticket day just got free baseball tickets and also $15 food concession credit for you and your entire family. But then I got sick and I couldn't go. So
wait, was the $15 for your entire family or $15 per person?
Each.
Oh, damn.
Right? That's like at least maybe one hot dog.
I have and a lot of hot pretzels.
Right?
Pretty good.
So missed out. That was really sad.
Well, now that we know what we've been searching, I think we can take it to our first segment, which is called What's Trending?
Woo!
So this segment, Emily and I will discuss the latest Google search trends from the week and give context as to what people are searching for. We don't really give that much context. We really just give our thoughts and opinions. So buckle up.
Here we go. We have a lot of them.
So this one is, I guess, interesting, But Capri Sun got recalled because I think the number was 5,700 of them got contaminated with cleaning solution, which sounds pretty difficult.
What? But also 5,700 is like that's a big number, but it's also like pretty small.
I think it was 5,700 boxes, which there's 12 pouches per box, I believe. Last I checked.
It was 10.
Well, apparently they've downsized. So that's still like 57,000 Capri Sun pouches. I also want to note that when I clicked on an article about it from the New York Times, it would put up a paywall. And I just feel like this is a matter of public health, that they should not be putting a paywall against it.
That's kind of rude, New York Times. What are you going to do next? Charge for Wordle?
Probably. I love Wordle. Please don't do that.
Let's see. Atlanta CW 69 News at 10 allowed
69.
They didn't. Yeah.
Really good.
Well, why do you think I chose this website? Okay, here's a fun question. What flavor do you think got contaminated?
I feel like I saw the box and I feel like it was wild cherry.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I was also really going to tell you my favorite flavor.
That was going to be my next question.
I always liked the Roaring Waters strawberry kiwi. That shit did really slapped.
Like that one.
But also
that one always gave me a headache.
Good. More for me. No, what was it? High C, Blazing Blueberry, or maybe it was Blitzen Blueberry. That shit slapped as a child.
My go-to Capri Sun was always just lemonade. Classic.
Oh, see, that one made my stomach hurt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
More for me.
I think it's because it was sour and I'm weak.
Oh. It'd be like that sometimes, I guess.
I mean, if it was pink lemonade, maybe I'd be more into it. Capri Sun, if you're listening.
Yeah, but you can't even see it when it like comes through the straw.
Yeah, but like sometimes they had like the pack where you could see like the back through it. Like you could see like it had like a clear plastic back, so you could see what the liquid looked like.
Lemonade didn't, though. I feel like lemonade always had the solid silver back.
I feel like Capri Sun needs to have like its own like retro nostalgia moment. I mean, I guess Capri Sun's still around, so maybe it can't have a nostalgia moment, but like I haven't seen a Capri Sun in years.
Me neither.
I'm not like sporty enough to have Capri Sun, I guess.
What part of Capri Sun is sporty?
I feel like you would get it at a soccer game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would accept that. I have not played in soccer in a long time.
Wait, do you know what was so fun?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Playing soccer as a kid and then getting Capri Sun afterwards.
I don't even want to talk about that time that we were on a soccer team together. And I thought I was going to be on All Stars. And the fucking coach stopped the practice and was like, Jacob, you know you suck, right? And I was like,
do you remember?
No, he didn't say that I sucked, but he was like, hey, you know you're not the best player, but at least you always play your position, right? And I was like, what? I thought I was killing it out here.
Do you remember when we got into like, it was like a tie?
Oh, a sudden
we
death.
did like it was like a sudden death, but we were like doing like a shootout, but like it went back and forth with like many different players. And like literally I think we kept volunteering of like, oh, like we'll shoot next, and they just kept saying no, and they like went through the entire rest of the team to let them shoot first.
I think there was 3 of us left. It was you, me, and one other person, and I think they let the other person go and he fucked it up, and we lost.
I'm sure if we had gone, we would have won.
I'm sure. No, the thing that was fun was when you would drink your entire Capri Sun and then you would fold it in half and turn the straw into an antenna and you would make like a little flip phone. That was really fun.
That was actually really fun.
I have a really good imagination.
I liked when you were
That's true.
that is true. I always like to like when you were done, refill it with air, like blow it back up.
Yeah.
And then kind of like push it to the end and like shoot it at someone.
Yeah. Stomp on that shit and just send that. So anyways, Capri Sun's been recalled. So don't drink your wild cherry Capri Suns, or at least check your UPC, but through the Arizona 69 website, not the New York Times.
It was Atlanta, but they both start with an A. Yeah. So
it's all the same letter. Well, that's been What's Trending.
And with that, we will head to the bread and butter of the podcast, the question and answer.
Dun, 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 yeah, whoa, yeah. I thought we could add maybe some like theme music.
That's a good idea. We have a theme song, so like we could just use that, or we could sing.
Yeah, but like it's like a specific soundtrack for question and answer.
Oh, okay. Do you think you could recreate what you just sang?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll just like cut that sound bite and just keep using it in all the other episodes.
I'm sure our listeners will love that.
For sure. Would you like to ask the first question?
Sure. So my question was, I went to some rooftop movie thing. It was like a rooftop cinema club. And one of my friends and I were talking about how it's almost fall and like Labor Day weekend is coming up. And we started talking about after Labor Day, you're not supposed to wear white. And I was like, well, why not? Like, what is the reason behind that? Like, is it a religious reason? Is it some pretentious person, Miranda Priestly, at some magazine telling me not to wear white after Labor Day? What are the rules? Why? What's the history there?
That's a good question. I feel like it's probably some like antiquated fashion rule, like a Miranda Priestly kind of thing. And my gut is that like it's based off of the logic of white like looks really good like against tan skin, and then you get like pale in the winter, like white just doesn't look as good.
I feel like it has obviously, okay, so Labor Day was created because of the labor movement for like fair working conditions. Maybe.
Is that real?
I think so. Why else would we have Labor Day?
What? Yeah.
It's like to recognize working people.
Doesn't like everybody work though?
Yeah, but like everybody deserves a break.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So how should you be able to wear white after it though? Oh, I know. I have an idea. Because what like Labor Day is like always like the first Monday of September. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in fall, things start to die.
Yes.
And so I wonder if it's like a symbolism thing. Is it in, what's that word? Our English literature teacher would not be pleased. No, I was going to say it's alliteration. No.
Analogy?
No.
Oxymoron.
Where it's like green is growth, red is passion.
Is it synesthesia?
No.
I don't know.
The number 7 is like the perfect number. It's something with an A. An alliteration.
Naphora.
No.
Allegory.
No.
Anecdote.
No, it's like something that like is always true in all stories.
Affirmation.
Or it's like
a tenement.
No. Numbers.
An archetype.
An archetype.
An archetype.
An archetype. Yes, very slang.
Really good. Mm-hmm. What was your point?
My point was maybe there's some type of archetypal thing where it's like, oh, like we should use these colors and these symbols after a certain point in time.
Who do you think like conveyed that message though?
Miranda Priestly.
It always comes back to Miranda Priestly.
It was probably like Anna Wintour or some shit. Like it's got to be like one of like the big fashion names.
Yeah.
I wonder too if like you should wear like more like duller colors in the winter because you shouldn't work as hard in the winter.
Why does that? Why are you saying those words?
No, that makes sense because like in the winter there's not as many hours, so the earth is telling us not to work as hard. Also,
Okay.
it's cold outside.
I would like to clarify that there are still 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, no, I meant like more hours of daytime.
Light.
Yes. There's less hours of light, and so therefore you should work less.
But what does it have to do with wearing dark colors?
Because like dark colors will be like hibernating, and like if you wear like maroon, like you feel like relaxed.
Yeah, I did just use an Instagram filter thing.
Oh, I saw that.
That was like, yeah, like what season are you? It was a spring.
Oh.
It gave me like jewel tones and like really bright colors.
Interesting. I don't know what I am because I did not use that lens, that filter or whatever. But I did look at a Pinterest board once and it told me that I was a winter.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, we love winter.
We do love winter.
So our hypothesis is that it came from some fashion house telling us.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Okay. Do you want to Google it?
Yes. Why can't I wear white after Labor Day? It came up as a reported search prediction.
Probably because Labor Day is right around the corner.
Okay. BHG, Better Home and Gardens.
Ooh, I trust them.
Do you?
Yeah.
The history behind the no white after Labor Day rule and why you shouldn't follow it anymore by Emily Van Schmoosh. Updated on August 21st, 2022. This is updated 2 days ago.
Wow. Thank you, Emily.
People are thinking about this.
I'll be thinking of you on National Emily Day.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. She's telling a whole story about how she's been wearing, like, she loves light colored sundresses and rompers. And she's been thinking about putting away her white attire because Labor Day is approaching. Okay, girl. So she did some digging and decided that her white clothes and shoes will be staying in her closet year round. Okay. So the tradition began back in the 1800s, and its origins are a little cringeworthy. As Marie Claire reports, the rule was invented in the 19th century by an elite group, we got that right, as a way to use fashion to separate those with money from those without.
Okay.
So when the summer months were over, affluent residents would leave the city for warmer vacation spots. Wearing white represented that you could afford to get out of the city and vacation elsewhere when summer ended. Since Labor Day typically represents the end of summer, a rule was established that you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day if you didn't have the money to take fall and winter vacations. It was a way to identify those who needed to work and those who didn't. Those who didn't have to work could wear white because it wouldn't get dirty, while those working would wear dark clothing to hide the dirt they'd pick up working or walking through the city.
Oh, that's interesting. So I'm just confused why you don't wear white after Labor Day.
It was an exclusionary thing, it seems. That it was just like a made-up rule made up by like the upper class in the early 1900s or the early 1800s.
So since they're done vacationing, they don't wear white anymore?
No, they still wear white when they go from the cold locations. So like say they would like travel to like Martha's Vineyard for the summer. Then when summer was over, they would go to like the Bahamas and like
they would wear white in the Bahamas.
Still wear white in the Bahamas.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't get it.
Okay, I'm reading farmersalmanac.com, and it says some historians believe that this rule was actually a way for the wealthy to separate themselves from the working class, specifically of they didn't have to do work that would stain their white clothes. So like some people think it's like very specific to they didn't have to work so they could wear white.
Oh, so is it like they take the whole summer off because they're like affluent and like then they wear white because they're not working, but then like the end of summer they actually do go back to work? Like, I feel like if you wore white because you don't have to work, like you just wear white all the time.
Which then at that point, just like be a priest or something.
Right. And
Okay,
also, like, you can't gatekeep white clothes. Like, I could still wear them as a working woman.
they just get dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, by the 1950s, not wearing white after Labor Day was a firm rule amongst the wealthy who regarded it as a symbol of refinement. The new money types weren't as well versed in the rules of etiquette and made these types of fashion faux pas. So those who adopted the no white after Labor Day were often seen more favorably as ambitious up-and-comers and willing to learn the rules surrounding their new social circle. So it seems like it also became a new money, old money type deal as well.
So are you going to wear white after Labor Day, like Emily?
I will be wearing white after Labor Day. I don't really own like a bunch of white clothing because I'm a messy bitch, but I would still wear it.
That's fair.
I'm not going to be thinking about it every single day.
I think I'll still wear white.
You wouldn't be able to wear your AirPods if you followed the no white after Labor Day rule.
Or my earrings are also white. Do you feel like we sufficiently answered your question?
I feel like I've learned a lot about why we don't wear white after Labor Day. So yeah, I think we sufficiently answered it. All right. So Emily, what is the question that you've prepared for the podcast?
My question is, how do steroids work? And the reason I had this question is because I've recently been going to the gym.
Oh my God. Are you thinking of taking steroids? I don't like going to the gym.
No, I am not considering
taking
steroids. But I feel like there were a lot of people at the gym that I questioned whether or not they did. Looked a little unnatural in my opinion, but you know, to each their own.
Maybe they just drink a bunch of protein powder.
Maybe. And that's why I had the question of like, how do steroids even work? And like, what do they do?
That's a great question.
Any initial gut thoughts?
I am in a barbell weightlifting class. I came in second place this weekend on the back squats. I mean, I tied for second place, but like still got second place. And I'm really good. That being said, have I ever considered using steroids? No, because this is like a community gym and it's, you know, not really like that kind of like intense competition. So I feel like steroids are really focused on people who want to win and will do anything to win, including faking a drug test so that they don't show up for steroids. What does that have to do with the actual function of steroids? Nothing, but here we are.
Just wanted to share my morals.
I wanted to share my thoughts on steroids. Don't do steroids. Don't do drugs, kids.
Just say no.
Just say no. I think steroids, obviously, like it builds muscles, but it also affects parts of your body in a negative way. So I wonder if it takes energy from certain organs and functions and pushes that energy towards muscle growth in order to grow you muscles faster.
How do muscles grow?
Muscles grow when you rip your ligaments, tendons,
like the muscle fibers.
Yeah, sure. The muscle fibers.
Yeah.
You rip them and then they grow back together longer and bigger. And that's how you grow a muscle. At least my understanding.
So do you think the steroids are like breaking apart your muscle more so that it has to grow back together more?
Well, do you think taking steroids would then just be like really painful? Because if it like shreds all of your muscles, like I think that would not be a fun experience. That people might be turned off from that.
I don't know. I wonder what, like there has to be something in your body that like rebuilds muscle, like a white blood cell, but like something different.
Don't ribosomes make protein? And protein is muscles, in my opinion.
That sounds pretty legit.
That sounds pretty legit to me. So maybe
it's just straight ribosomes.
It's just straight ribosomes making protein, maybe. And that's how you're growing your muscles. So maybe it kicks your ribosomes into high gear, but then again, maybe it kills some part of your cells. Cause like, I know it like makes your testicles shrink, Or like,
I know it can be like add to fertility issues, I think, in men.
yeah.
So I wonder if that's all related.
I would assume if your testicles shrank that you would have some type of fertility issues. Like those seem pretty correlated to me.
Is it like the testicle itself shrinks, or is it like the ball sack shrinks?
The scrotum discharge.
Yes, the scrotum.
I would assume that it's the physical testicle itself.
Okay. So then it's just like, good luck finding that in the scrotum.
I don't know. I don't know what steroids do.
I don't know either.
But I also honestly don't understand how like Advil works. Because like, how does Advil know to get rid of your headache? Didn't we talk about this? Maybe we already learned this.
I think it like doesn't it do something with like the blood thinning and like
we don't need to know
like,
about we don't need to know about Advil. We need to know about steroids.
Steroids. Also, how do you do steroids? Is it like you inject it in yourself?
I think it's a liquid that you would inject into your thighs, and you inject it into your thighs because
can't you put it in your butt?
Oh yeah, you can put it in your butt.
So
like the cheek. I don't think the hole.
Is that because it's fatty, or is that because there's muscles?
I think it's because it's fatty. Because I don't think you want to.
But a thigh isn't like super fatty.
Yeah, it is.
My thighs are straight muscles.
Okay. I think it's because you don't want to hit like a vein, maybe.
Oh, do you not have veins in your butt?
I don't know.
I have so many follow-up questions from this question. Okay, so we have a couple things to Google. How do steroids work? Do you have veins in your butt? And then a picture of a veiny butt.
Well, sure. Okay, so what is our hypothesis here?
My hypothesis is that steroids work by breaking down something in the muscle and also injecting something that helps it rebuild.
My guess is that it puts the ribosomes into overdrive, and those bad boys are just shooting out proteins.
It's just a letter of encouragement to the ribosomes.
Exactly. It's like ribosomes, let's get it clicking.
Okay. How? Oh, I have caps lock on.
I'll search, do you have veins in your butt?
How do steroids work? Okay. This is, okay. Do we want the NHS from the UK? Yeah.
Sure.
Steroids, also called corticosteroids, are anti-inflammatory medicines used to treat a range of conditions. They're different from anabolic steroids, which are often used illegally by some people to increase their muscle mass. Okay, so we want this anabolic steroids, first of all.
Great.
Okay, so steroids are addictive.
Yes, we knew that.
Okay, they're usually injected into a muscle, so it's not the fat, or taken by mouth as tablets, but they can also come as creams or gels that are applied to the skin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because you can get isn't it like a steroid if you have like eczema to like put onto your eczema? So it's not.
I think that's like the other kind of steroid.
Oh, it's not the anabolic.
Yeah. Right. Because what did I get steroids for? I got steroids. Oh, I got a mosquito bite once. And I think I itched it too much, but I had like a horrible reaction to it. And it just like spread to like a very large size on my arm.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then I was driving to urgent care and I got there like super early in the morning. And then like everything was shut down because I was like by some government building. And like literally like there were cops there and they're like, you can't come in. And I was like, well, I'm trying to go to urgent care. And they're like, well, okay. And then like they let only me in. And then I got to urgent care and there was like one guy inside and he's like, how did you get here? And I was like, I don't know. And they just like let me in. And he's like, well, I can't let you in because no one else can get to the building to work here. So I don't know what to do. And then I sat outside.
Did you get like an ice cream for yourself to pass the time?
No, because I considered going to Chick-fil-A, but I don't think they were open yet. So I want to know how it works. It says don't share needles.
Fair.
Steroids are addictive. It's just trying to tell me not to use it.
While you search for the next one, I searched, do butts have veins? And I found an article from healthline.com that says superior gluteal veins. And there are numerous accompanying veins of the superior gluteal artery. It seems that the veins take on tributaries through the gluteal buttock region that correspond with the artery's various branches. They come into the pelvis via the sciatic foramen, a large gap in the pelvis on either side of the center. Interesting.
Okay, so update. This is from betterhealth.vic.gov.au. So, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Anabolic steroids work by imitating the properties of naturally occurring hormones. Their chemical composition is similar to testosterone and can activate the body's testosterone receptors. Once the receptors are stimulated, a domino effect of metabolic reactions takes place as the drug instructs the body to increase muscle tissue production.
Okay.
So I guess testosterone just helps make muscle. Okay. And it also allows people to train more for longer periods of time and recover faster.
Interesting. So it increases the production of those cells that are producing muscles, what produces a muscle? Is it ribosomes?
I don't know.
How to produce a muscle.
It also says that fluid retention is also common, which can lead muscles looking bloated. So it's not even muscles, your arms just inflated.
So a potential side effect for women who take steroids are shrunken breasts, a deepened voice, facial hair, and body hair growth, which like all makes sense with like its testosterone, but also abnormal growth of the clitoris.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Who would have known?
Not I.
Not I. It seems like for you to grow a muscle, the science behind muscle growth. Here we go. This is from avatarnutrition.com.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Muscle growth is the result of a complex process that adds more myosin filaments to each muscle fiber. This makes the engine of the cell build stronger and stronger over time.
Is that the mitochondria?
Maybe. Okay, but building a bigger engine isn't easy, and your muscles can't do it alone. It needs two things: parts, protein, and mechanic, mTOR. mTOR stands for mammalian target of rapamycin. And now you can see why we use the short version. Honestly, I love the added commentary. So the mTOR is a complex protein that regulates when and how much your body starts to build muscle. When you hit the weights, you wake up the mTOR so he can go to work. This process is called muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. I love that they're adding this commentary and explaining it to me like I'm a child, because it's really fair.
This is how we learn.
Okay, if that was all there was to it, life would be very simple. All we'd have to do is lift some weights, let mTOR do his thing, and we'd explode with muscle. Unfortunately, MPS has an evil twin, muscle protein breakdown, that directly counteracts it. When these two forces are balanced, you don't gain or lose muscle. If your protein balance is positive, the surplus can be directed by resistance training into muscle cells. But if you're in a bigger negative or neutral protein balance, there's no fuel for the engine and no parts to make it bigger. So to put on muscle, you'll need to force your body into a net positive protein balance. Then MPS gets the upper hand. So in bro science, you'll lovingly hear this as called being anabolic, which is the anabolic steroids we heard about earlier. Basically, the state of building tissues in the body, as opposed to the evil catabolic, which breaks everything down and makes you lose your gains. So it seems like anabolic produces an environment in which you can produce muscles easier. So it's giving you more protein and more energy with which to create that protein through resistance training.
Gotcha.
That sounded really smart.
That does. So I'm still not going to do steroids, but I at least now understand how they work.
And you can understand how to do it naturally, because you can understand that you need to create a situation. Protein. Yes, you have more protein, you have more energy, and you do resistance training to build your muscles so that you are naturally anabolic as opposed to fake.
Artificially.
Anabolic. Yeah.
Sounds good. I feel like that sufficiently answered my question.
Perfect. Fantastic. Well, I guess that takes us to our last section, which is the listener question.
Woo!
So this week's listener question comes from Emily's boyfriend, John. Emily, would you like to share?
So his question is, why do women get cravings when they're pregnant? And why are they sometimes like really weird, like dirt or chalk and stuff like that?
Seems like a very targeted question.
I am not pregnant.
Slay.
So let's just put that out there.
You heard it here first.
To my knowledge, she has not impregnated another woman. So
slay.
we love that.
We love that. We love that.
We love that. Any initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts of why do women crave things while they're pregnant? I would say, as a gay man who doesn't know any pregnant women and has no understanding of the process, I would guess hormone imbalance makes you do crazy things. I don't know if there's like are there specific cravings when you're pregnant where like a lot of women report craving, I don't know, spinach or like he said, chalk?
I don't think so. I think it's like
specific to the person.
Yeah. And I think it can change too. Like I do think there are people who are like, oh, like I loved hot sauce when I was pregnant. Like for the entire time. But I also think it's like, oh, today I'm craving chocolate and today I'm craving eggplant.
It's a natural craving, but almost extended perhaps through the hormones.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder what a natural craving is, because like sometimes you're like, oh God, I really want a hot dog.
I think what it is,
12 p.m.
I think one, I'm assuming like it takes a lot of energy to make a baby. So I'm guessing there's just like general, like you're hungrier. You need to feed yourself more because you're literally producing an entire other person.
Yes.
So I wonder if some of it is just like caloric craving of like, I need energy. And then I also assume like you're missing specific nutrients or like your baby's missing specific nutrients.
Oh.
Because I think it's like a thing of, oh, like if you're craving salty food or fatty food, like if you eat an apple, like you're really craving like vitamin D or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I made that up. Like, don't quote me on that. But
I don't know what vitamins an apple has.
I don't know either. And I don't know if like fatty food equals apple, but
yeah,
I think that's what it is. It's like you're actually just deficient in a specific nutrient.
Well, what do you think hot sauce has in it? A little bit of spice.
Salt?
Yeah, maybe salt. Now I'm hungry.
Me too. Yeah, so my hypothesis is like you need energy and nutrients. And that's your body's way of telling you what you specifically need.
Oh, interesting. You need Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems like a pretty solid hypothesis. And I would say like the hormones just exacerbate that. Like it's
So I typed in why do women crave? And it says chocolate on their periods, or why do women crave attention?
Can you imagine some man just being like, why do women crave attention? Like, come on. We all crave attention, let's be clear.
Okay.
I searched it too, and it says, why do women have better handwriting? And honestly, true.
What causes pregnancy cravings? This is intermountainhealthcare.org/blogs/topics/intermountain moms.
Intermountain moms.
Oh no.
Okay.
Pregnancy cravings can be caused by a number of things, including hormones, a heightened sense of smell and taste.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And nutritional deficiencies. They typically happen during the first trimester and peak in the second trimester, but can technically happen during any time in the pregnancy. The most common pregnancy cravings: pickles, chocolate, lemons, soda, mainly used to ease morning sickness.
Makes sense.
Red meat.
Okay.
Spicy food, fruit, dairy products, ice, and non-food substances.
Got to cool down somehow.
Apparently, the ice is an indication of iron deficiency.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's really just like your body relaying the idea that you have a nutritional deficiency.
Yeah.
Wow. The more you know.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that answers your question, John.
I'm sure it will.
I also realized this is completely separate from the question, but usually we leave a fun, what do you call it? Code word for Pamela. And we had a whole conversation about her and we didn't leave a code word.
That's true.
We should come up with one now.
We brought her up because of National Pamela Day. So the code word is Pamela.
I hope she gets that one. Gotta make sure she's listening. Hey, Pamela. Hope you're enjoying the episode.
Really good. So that was our 12th episode.
Yes.
I think we did a really good job. If you enjoyed that, be sure to follow us on social media at Search Bar Podcasts.
And my handle is I got Schubach, IGOTSCHUPBACH across all platforms. Also be sure to send us any questions to searchbarpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, if you have the time, give us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Those reviews really help us pay our rent. So far, we've made no money from this podcast, and we could really use your reviews to help us.
I'm about to get evicted.
You wait until the end of the podcast to start crying. Hey, please, guys. So if you enjoyed that,
you can also Venmo me at Emily-Schubach.
Oh, really? I don't even know what I don't know what my Venmo is, but I think it's Jacob-Schubach. If it asks you for the last 4 digits of my phone number, just hit skip because you don't need to know.
Just trust.
Just trust. Okay, well, live,
until
laugh,
next
love.
time.
Happy searching.
Happy searching.
And
bye.
Slay. Bye.
Slay.
Outside the Search Bar is a Perfectly Done Toast podcast production.